Okay, so I came to this through looking into, well, what is the truth of human nature? Because when people were coming to me for readings and sessions, what happened, okay, I started out as an astrologer, so I was reading their charts, and then bit by bit, what took place was that their soul actually made itself known to me, and the soul was urgently trying to communicate something to the person. And I mean urgently. The soul was trying to get the person's attention. So this was the beginning of my interest in soul. I call soul the infinite part of us. It's a unique, energetic signature that has always been, will always be, and it is united with a temporal physical form for this incarnation. So this soul, my interest began by almost being this kind of soul translator, and or just holding a space where people could make this connection. And then I started looking into this, and I began seeing life as being, looking more at life from a soul perspective, as in why does the soul incarnate? What is the experience that the soul is seeking? What are the benefits of us consciously connecting to our soul? Because we're never disconnected from our soul. Nobody on this planet is disconnected to their soul. Nobody, nowhere, regardless of what they've been through. They may have absolutely no experience of their soul. They may have no idea that they have a soul, and that makes them very unhappy. Because the soul is the truth of our nature. And as the infinite part of us, it is the divine aspect of us. It is the part of us that is God, that is one with God. So it's actually it's not only the truth of our nature, who we really are, it is completely unique to every single one of us. So, soul living, let's say a conscious connection, the reason I got so interested in consciously connecting to soul, because as I said, we're all connected to soul, but if we're consciously connected to it, we actually get the benefits of that, get the benefit of experiencing that connection to our own divine nature, recognizing ourselves as divine. And if you think about that, how would the world change if every single human being recognized themselves as divine? It would be instantaneous transformation of the world. So one thing you can do for the world is recognize yourself as a divine being. It sounds so simple. It is that simple. It really is that simple. And there are a lot of things that make it complicated, that don't really exist. But that doesn't mean that we're not all dealing with those things. Because the real truth is the soul. And there's nothing in this life that you can't handle from the perspective of your soul. In fact, the fact that you're here is proof that there's nothing in this life that you can't handle. Because there are so many things that have happened in your life that could have so easily broken you. And there are so many things that happened in your life that you didn't think you could get through. But you did. But you did. That's a miracle. That is a miracle, because even now you're probably wondering how you did it. And even now you've probably forgotten how much that took for you, how much strength, how much humility, how much love, how much grace that took for you simply to live as long as you have. And the point is that those circumstances that we don't think we can live through, that we do, they are there precisely to connect us to our soul. And to remind us that we're miraculous. So the purpose of those almost seemingly insurmountable experiences is to remind us of our own divinity. So the benefits of this, we have, if we're divine in essence, then we have this connection to God. We have all the guidance that we need, all the love and the blessings that we need. It's simply who we are. I have done so many readings I can't even count, but I have never ever come across a human being whose soul essence wasn't made of love. But when they don't recognize themselves as such, they judge themselves, and that's a kind of downward spiral of worthlessness. So that's what a disconnection really is. And disconnection is suffering. It's really that simple. I mean, when you're disconnected from soul, when you're disconnected from your body, when you're disconnected from your heart, it's painful. And when you experience this connection, because if your essence is love, then if you connect to that love, that is joyful. Because you know yourself as love. So you have every reason to want to live. You have every reason to want to flourish. You have every reason to want to thrive. Because you can trust in the divinity of your own nature. And from that trust, you can actually create a life that's beyond what you can even imagine. And that's the purpose of faith. Faith is actually takes us beyond what we think is possible. And life really is like that. And life has proved itself to you in that way many times, but sometimes we forget. If you're really living by love, I mean, that's some path. That's a heroic path. Because it starts with self-love. So what does it mean to have a loving relationship with yourself? In a way, it's a process of surrendering to your true nature and allowing it the space that it wants to express, because you use energy to suppress that, because you want to package it and control it. We all do this, by the way. So, you know, this is what social conditioning is all about, you know. But living by love starts with surrendering to the love in our own hearts. and allowing it to grow. Allowing it to take root, allowing it to grow, blossom in our lives. And sometimes that is far from passive, because you have to make decisions to support that. And that is transformational. Because not everybody understands that path. They're too caught up in being caught up. Too fearful to connect in this way. Too fearful to know what they might find in their heart. But their soul journey, by the way, is not your responsibility. And neither is their happiness. Yours is. Your soul journey is your responsibility. Your happiness is your responsibility. Theirs is not. Let's get that really clear, because you can let that off your shoulders right now. You can't know really what another person is here for. Regardless what your relationship is, whether you're a parent, whether you're a child, you can't really know. That's the mystery of life. The way that you serve them is by taking responsibility for your own well-being. With the kind of commitment that God has for your well-being. Because it's not about what you do for others, it's how you are for others. That's why I talk about intention. Because love has to exist through equality, not through your self-sacrifice. If you that's really what God wants for us, is to blossom in the love that exists in our own hearts. Everybody deserves that. That's everybody's birthright. That's what every parent wants for its child, right? So let's give our parents that. Every parent knows what a relief it is to see a child happy. What a relief. Let's give all our parents that, whether they're here or not. Because it makes a difference even if they're not here. It's still a relief. It's still a freedom. This is how we give the world freedom. This is how we give the world freedom. Freedom for having to take care of us. Freedom from having to be concerned about us. Because we will take responsibility for our own well-being. Our own emotional well-being. And this is where self-knowing comes into it. So what is the secret that exists in my heart that maybe can never even be spoken? What is the unique signature of love that exists within me, that I'm here to contribute simply by enjoying the miraculous privilege of being alive.